Get started. Okay, so I opened up this Word document, right, where I have the characters and their names just for you, because I know it's so hard to remember all of them. I have Toru, who's a main character, Toru Honda. So sometimes, so in Japan, well, at least it's from the anime, from what I've seen, they call people by their last names. So they usually will call her like Honda-san. Unless like you're good friends, then they will call them by their first names.
The first name.
And they also have like this little like end thing that they say, like san, kun, sama, whatever, you know? So yeah, so that's something they do. So yeah, this is Toru, this is Shigure, and then these are the two boys, Yuki and Kyo. They all have the same last names because they're related. And then we have Arisa Uotani, but they call her Uo-chan. So like I just put her little thing right here. And then Saki Hanajima. Like I honestly did not know her first name. After all the times I've watched this and read this, I still did not know the first name. Because they always call her Hana-chan. So I'm just like, oh yeah, Hana-chan. But yeah. And then this Kyoko, which is Toru's mom.
Mom.
Yeah. So these are the characters that we've seen for the most part so far. And I'll just keep adding, and then that way it's easier for you. It did not take me that long. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about episode 2 and 3 that we watched a couple days ago. And let me just get my notebook with my notes about what we saw. So we're gonna start off with episode 2. It just started where episode 1 left off, which was to turn into animals, right?
Yes.
And then episode 2, I feel like we got a lot of information about them and, you know, the whys, or like the explanations of like why they turn into animals and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, let's see. So from what you saw, what did you get? Like, why do they turn into animals?
It's like a family trait. That's what they say. That it's a family trait that's been, they have it for 100 years. Or since 100 years back. Someone said that.
Shigure was explaining.
So, yeah, so that's what they say. That it's just because they belong to their family. All of them have like a different animal that they can turn into. And that is like related to the zodiac sign. Like the zodiac sign is spirit. They say that it doesn't have any, like, it's not a special power. Like it doesn't let you just turn into the animal.
Yeah.
And he also tells you why or how. Like why at that moment, like on that scene, why they turn. Because they were hugged, or someone was hugged.
Yeah. Pretty much that's what it was. So Shigure says that it's kind of like a curse that's been going on for 100 years in the Salma family. And yeah, that they are able to turn into the animals of the zodiac. Everyone has like an animal. Well, not every single person in the Soma family. There's just like 13 people, you know, because it's like the 12 zodiac signs plus the cat, pretty much. And then,
so wait, if it's like something that, like, they have it as a family, how do they keep it to just like the 12? Well, 13 plus the cat. So like, for example, let's say someone on their family has a baby, but right now there's like the 12, 13 are alive. So then that baby wouldn't have it. Wouldn't have that trait until like one of them passes, and then whoever, or does it skip generations? Like, because why are they, like, why do they have, like, what about their parents? Did their parents had it, and then when they start getting older, they pass it on?
Ooh, those are some good questions that I'm not gonna answer.
No.
But no, it's good. It's good that you bring it up.
And the questions that I have that won't be answered until later.
Maybe they'll answer it later. Maybe they'll say a little something. Maybe they won't. If they don't, then we'll talk about it later on. Yeah, those are good questions. So you said like, yeah, like every time they said that either they get sick or they get hugged by the opposite sex.
Which, on that note, like not the sick part, but when they get hugged by the opposite sex, is it just any woman, or
Yes.
is it if it's like someone that makes them nervous?
No, any woman in their case, yeah, because they're all men. So any woman, any like it could be a child, I guess. This is what I'm guessing. I'm actually not sure about this one, but I'll guess anyone that's from the opposite sex, no matter the age or anything. If they just bumped into them.
Okay.
Okay, so we see turn.
They also say that they turn after a few minutes, but with no clothing, which is really inconvenient.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of like took it off, right? Because when they turn to the animal, it's really
Well,
smaller.
yeah.
So,
But when they return back to human, it's not like they.
I mean, they were naked animals.
Put it, but yeah. And the other part that to me is inconvenient is that they don't have like exact like 3 minutes, boom, I'm gonna be back.
Yeah.
You know how it says that it varies.
Yeah, it
So
just
like,
depends.
do they have any control in it?
They don't say that they do. They don't say that they have any control. Because I think if they did, then they would turn back right away, or they will like go somewhere like behind a bush or something to turn back instead of just turning in front of.
Is even
whoever.
controlling like when they turn? Because I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they do. From what we've seen so far, I don't think they can control it at all. It's just it happens, and then they just go with it now. So let's see. Then we have the opening. So after the scene of like them turning into the animals, a little explanation or whatever, we have the opening, which we saw a couple times in episode 3. Did you like that opening?
I don't remember the opening.
Great. Yeah, it's pretty like I don't think much happens in it. You just see the characters and that's it. They're just walking around.
Just as a disclaimer, I don't really pay attention to openings.
Oh, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. That works for me.
Unless sometimes when I'm kind of looking, if something catches my attention, then I will actually pay attention. But as long as nothing like, and it can be something silly, something like not important. But sometimes if it catches my attention, then like, oh, I pay more attention. Like, it's like, oh, look at the introduction.
Yeah. I mean, this one, yeah, it's pretty mundane, I would say. Pretty whatever. Okay, so then we go back. It goes back to like they're in the house. And then we learn a little bit more about this new character, which is Gil. So what do we learn about him? What did you get from him? Any first impressions?
He trained in martial arts. Mm-hmm. He has a high competition with his cousin.
Mm-hmm. Yuki?
They seem to fight often. You know how Shigure says like, oh, don't worry, like, because they're fighting. And I think in one of the scenes they're fighting and the other lady, she's so worried. And then he seems like, oh, this is normal. They fight.
Yeah.
He gets mad like really easily. Like he's hot tempered. Like he gets mad fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty much like what we get from him from the start. He is, yeah, he's really quick to act.
Yeah, really impulsive.
Very impulsive.
Yeah.
He like, I think like, yeah, he was fighting. He was like in the heat, the argument or whatever, and then he hit a table, and then he hurt. Toru was just right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I think like Shigure says something later on too. I think it was in the same episode. Yeah, later on, like you need to like, start to control that in a way. You have to like stop yourself from doing, from punching.
Yeah, reacting out of impulse.
Yeah. Wise words from Shigure. So, yeah, they talk a lot about him, and then after she goes to change because she's gonna go to school. So she goes to change, and then Shigure has said that he has to tell the family head that
which is Akito-san or something like that.
Akito-san.
One name that I remember.
Yeah, Quito. So he's gonna go tell the family head
What
about
happened?
what happened that they had to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And Yuki seems kind of concerned about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know why he's concerned?
Because he asked Shigure like if he plans to change her memories like before. So they make a reference of, I guess, before when someone finds out, they get like their memory either like changed or something, so they can't remember what they saw.
Yeah, and they go a little bit further into that in later on at school.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. So yeah, like they have to go and there's a family head, and I'm guessing, this family head knows about it.
He's the one who decides or makes like, I'm assuming makes a choice.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like, well, they have to report to him. So he's the one who makes a choice of who gets to know their secret. Or like when something like that important happens, like, is it okay? Do we just leave it like that? Or what happens to the person who finds out?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to the next scene, which is in school. They go to school, and I see that Yuki was kind of worried about Toru keeping the secret. Like he seemed a little anxious about it. He was like looking at her, talking to her friends, and later on he's asking, he's like, "Hey, did you tell your friends about what happened?"
And it's not only that. Remember how he's also worried that she's gonna be like afraid of him, because they go to that memory of when he's little. I think he's talking to his mom or to a lady, to someone. But someone tells him, like, like when people find out, they'll be afraid of you. So then, kind of like that's how they explain to them why they have to like change the memories or be really careful on who they can, I guess, show their transformations.
Yeah, he bumped into a girl when he was playing a game or whatever, and then everybody saw they had to change the memories.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they did. This person did tell him that
it was his mom.
I think they do say who it is, but I just want to make sure it was not his mom.
It was not his mom.
No,
but it was a female, right?
Was it?
I think it was a female.
I'm not gonna say. I do think they said the name because I wrote it down. But let's just keep it like that for now. We'll hear more about this person later on anyway.
Okay.
All right. So how does she react about like keeping the secret? How did Toru react? How do we see Toru reacting? Like he was like, "Hey, did you keep it?" And she was just like,
I feel that if I should have wrote more about it. I just know that she's like, no, don't worry about it. Like she feels kind of like special because she didn't get her memories change. Like her memories change.
Yeah.
So it's like he's closer to them because she knows that, because they have like their little conversation in the room or the classroom. And it's just the two of them, and Yuki gets surprised that she's not afraid of him, and then I think she hugs him, right? Because he turns again on that room.
Yeah, he does. I think I don't know how she did. I think she pulled him or something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, they turned quite a bit. in these two episodes. I was like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. It's like pretty inconvenient. Like in other stories where like different than this, when they talk about like magical powers or something like that, they do have a sense of like they usually like they go to some either life experience or they have to acquire certain skills and they're able to somewhat control it. But on this one, I mean, it's really inconvenient because one, you have to keep it a secret. But if in their case, if a female bumps into them or they get sick, they get the flu, they'll turn. And do they turn just for like a little bit while they're sick, or they turn and they stay turned for the lasting of their sickness?
Very good questions.
You know?
Those are really good questions.
Or
we
is
might get answers.
Turn a little bit and then they get worse. You know, sometimes when you get the flu, you kind of start feeling sick. So then they turn back to human. And then if they get more sick, they turn again. Is it like that? That would be also really inconvenient.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know. We might see something. We might not. Yeah, we'll guess that. How about that? So some good questions. Some good questions here. So something I wanted to bring up about school, since we see Yuki a little bit more at school, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit more about when we talk about episode 3. But you had mentioned in episode 1 that you asked, where are Yuki's friends?
Yeah.
Did we see any more of his friends?
No.
Why?
Because I feel, even though he's not like a main character or anything, but he's like, I feel like everybody idolizes him. Like, he's, even the nickname, he's the prince and he's super cute and he's over there. But, and then you have like the stories of like a girl try to hug him and he pushed her away. So like the girls are not gonna get close to him, like to be friends or whatever. So it's like he has this, like he's so, and maybe it's also him that he keeps his distance.
Okay, all right. So I want to talk a little bit more about it, but let's talk about it when we go to episode 3.
But they're not as important right now. They'll come up later.
Well, his friends?
Yeah, if he has friends.
Okay, yeah, maybe. So then they go home. They have a little conversation. It was cute. He turns in front of her. And then they go home. And then they get to hear the decision that was made by the family head, which was that, hey, yeah, you can keep the secret. As long as you can keep the secret, we won't do anything. And she was like, yep, I'm gonna keep the secret. No problem at all. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. We see a little bit more about Kyo.
On somewhere on that part about the no memories erased, because I have that the memories didn't get erased or changed, and then Yuki got suspicious about it, like why with her it's okay and with other people they have changed it. But also on the side note, I think when they get home or they go change or something, there's a hat, like a regular hat, that falls down from a bag, and they like zoom into the hat, like if it's something that is important. And I think I remember seeing that hat in the intro. It's a hat. Don't laugh. I put the hat. See, that caught my attention. I saw a hat, the same hat. It's a regular hat.
The thing
fell down from a paper bag thing somewhere. I don't know where.
Do you have any predictions about it?
About the hat?
Do you think it's just a regular little hat that just happens to be there?
Well, probably. I mean, I'm saying that it's a regular hat because it doesn't look, it looks simple, like just like a cap. I think it's even gray. But I don't think it's just like, oh, the hat, ahí se cayó. Because they zoom into it, like if that was important, that oops, it fell down from the bag, like the paper bag.
Yeah.
And then on the intro, there's a part where that hat comes out again, makes an appear. I don't remember where, when, why on the intro, but I remember seeing it, the hat.
Yeah.
And I know on the 3rd episode, because on the 2nd episode is when it falls from the paper bag. So it's like, oh, a hat. So then,
I didn't think you were gonna catch that.
The hat.
She did not catch that. Yeah, I was sure you weren't. Okay, no. Great that you caught that.
Hat.
Maybe we'll know a little bit more about it later. Maybe we won't. Maybe it's just a regular hat that just
And then,
happens
like,
to.
whose hat is that? Because he fell down from a paper bag.
Yeah.
Is
Whose
it
hat is it?
Toru? Is it one of the cousins over here?
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
anyways,
Great questions. All right. So,
mm,
yeah, I was gonna ask you, why do you think Kyo wants to beat Yuki? Because this is a thing that just keeps bringing up. Like,
the
he
who?
wants to, like, Kyo wants to like beat Yuki like in a fight. He's always challenging him. He's always trying to fight him.
It was something made about. So it has something to do with their family. Like, cause the cat doesn't feel like he belongs, and then because even Yuki says like, "I want to escape," and he wants to come in, like kind of like acceptance or something. So I don't know if like in the family he's so. And then I think they go to a little memory where they're comparing, like someone like he learned something and I think he does it better. So then the other one gets feel left out. Something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
think I
remember
remember
quite
it's
much.
from. I think it's from episode 3. But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think they also said something in episode 2. I just don't remember what it was
I
exactly.
don't remember.
Yeah.
Because I remember like I just wrote like the Kyo he apologized to kind of. Gives his little apology to Toru. Being like harsh on her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he tries. He tries
Yeah,
to
he
do
tries.
it.
You know, it's hard. I understand. Apologies are hard. Kyo, like he gets like at the beginning, he has a hard time.
Yeah.
So see, like he doesn't feel like he's important. Because in one of those little scenes, he screams like that. There's nothing interesting about the cat ear.
Yeah, that's later on. We will get to that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes, but we'll get to it. No, that was something else. Oh yeah, I think like in that scene when they get home and stuff, it was also decided by the family head that Kyo was to stay in that house too. It was decided like, hey, he's gonna stay here too. And Kyo
He's
is like,
gonna go
I
to
don't even
school.
want to be here. I don't want to be here with this rat or whatever. And he went and he got tricked into taking the entry exam for the high school. So that tells us a little bit more about him. And you know, maybe he can be a little bit gullible, which is just funny. But yeah, I didn't want to say it, but you know what? Whatever. Kyo is my favorite character. Just saying it. You have no idea. Anyway.
I can see it.
He is great. I love Kyo. Oh my gosh. And many other characters too. But I'm not going to tell you the rest. Kyo is just, he's special. Okay. So later on, they go back to school, and then it's Kyo's first day. And he's getting so much attention from the females, and some of the guys too. But mainly for the females, you know, they're asking him all these questions, and he's not feeling it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is really interesting. And then Hana-chan, she makes a little comment about the waves of Kyo. She was like, yeah, his waves are pretty similar to Yuki's. Like there's something there, you know? Does mention that. And then I also love how like in that scene she's like curling Toru's hair. Did you notice that? I'm like, what the fudge? I don't know. That was funny. She's great. Okay. So then he jumps off the window because he was just like not having it. He's like over here like ripping a girl's arm off pretty much. He jumps off the window and then he runs off. And then Toru goes after him. And Yuki too. And then he yells at her. He's just like over everything. And
then like all of the cats were following him.
Yeah. Was that in that scene?
Yeah, I think so, because he's like hiding on a roof, no?
That's later, no? Isn't it? No, this is when he jumps and then he goes like, they go like in between like a building. They're like in the shade. And then he's yelling at Yuki. And then he was like gonna go punch him, and then Toru hugs him, and then he turns into a cat. That's that scene. The other scene, I think, is next episode. But yeah, And then he yells at her, and then she's just like, she walks away. She's like, max rage. Like, I need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
She really does think like that he hates her. How do you
Mm-hmm.
think he actually feels about her? Because that's probably not true. He doesn't really know her, but maybe, I don't know.
I
So how?
don't think he hates her, but maybe he's intrigued. Like, like, doesn't hate her because, like you said, they don't really know each other. But maybe, like, because of her way of being, like, he kind of likes her.
Okay, okay. Do you think that he likes her the same way that Yuki likes her?
No idea.
No idea. We just know that they're cool with her, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's like there's something that draws both of them to her.
I wonder what that could be.
Exactly. The hat. No, I'm just kidding.
Because from what we've seen from her, is there something special about her? Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
like because it's like in the scenes, I don't know if it's this episode or the next episode, like the way, like, whatever he's like mad or angry, because he gets all mad and angry, and how he hates, I guess, being the cat or be turned into a cat. But she says something that makes him feel like, oh, like, it makes him feel special, but kind of makes him feel better. And she does that with both of them.
Mhm.
Like, she has that way of trying to find the silver lining or the positive, even if it's something negative.
So you think her optimism is what makes her special?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe. Oh
And
my
maybe,
god.
and then also, like, what's kind of weird, like, if they, like, imagine that you grow up thinking that a part of you needs to be hidden, because that's a part of them, like the fact that poof, they turn into animals, even though it's not like a superpower or whatever, but it must have like some sort of meaning or something. So then you grow up like knowing that you have to hide that from everybody. Like no one can know. Even like people's memories get changed because, if they find out. So then that, like, you feel guilty about it because, for people, like, it was an accident. Especially because the way they turn, like, imagine you're playing, like, I don't know, chase or some tag, and then boom, and then there go your memories. Like, you don't know that you're not supposed to bump into them, or they get sick. Imagine if I had that, I get sick like left and right, so I would be like turning like there's no tomorrow. So then they grow like hiding that. So I don't know how that plays into how well they can interact with, make friends or have like that normalcy in life. And then here comes this girl that finds out about it, and the head person or the head family member allows her to keep that memory, to live with them, and two, she's okay with it. She's like, oh, well, he turns into a rat, he's a dog, the other one's a cat, no problem. So that to me is also like, I will be intrigued, like, hey, you should be afraid of me, or you should feel like, I don't know, like repulse or something, and you're like, oh, you find it that is something like beautiful or something special.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. I think those are all good thoughts. Really good thoughts. So, do we have any more thoughts about Shigure now that we've seen him in a few more episodes? Is there, because like I remember when I had it first asked you about him, you're like, I have nothing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I had nothing.
Still nothing?
He's interesting because at first he was like, even though he's the oldest, but he didn't act like the oldest, like he was more, I don't know, like,
Immature?
Not immature, I don't know, like carefree. So, you know how, like, I remember my sister watching iCarly, that show?
Yeah.
Okay, so the brother,
he was the older brother, to Spencer?
Yeah, so kind of like that. He gave like that vibe, but then on this episode, it's like that's like an act. Like that's how he Like he seems like that's how he portrays himself, but he's also like he has good. Well, I don't know if he has good thinking, but like once in a while he shows that no, he's actually a really smart guy or he has some sort of wisdom. I mean, he's a, and then I think does the animal that they turn into has anything to do with their personalities? Because I mean, well, I mean, cats react more
They're so
than
cute.
yeah, but they can be a little, impulsive. Your cat scratched me without any reason. Just saying. I
That's
still have
just his
the
life.
no, just his life, no. And then they hold grudges. Do something to a cat,
Oh yeah.
and they won't forgive you for the love of Pete. Like they'll hold that grudge, and later on, they'll one day you're all thinking he's kissing you, and
Do you think that
you
could
know
be a possibility for Kyo that maybe Yuki did something to him and then he's just holding that grudge?
it could be.
I'm just
There is a
thinking
possibility.
there is a possibility. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know that much about rats.
Me neither.
To say like, oh yeah, Yuki's kind of like a rat, but maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not. It's just
Yeah.
our lack of knowledge on rats.
Yeah. And then from the dog, I don't know. Like I also think
Because
that
the
we
dogs can be like playful, like goofy, or like oh, there's a dog. But then they're also like smart and protect you, and I don't know. They can be leaders, and they can be mellow. They can calm. They're not like so. I don't know. He's funny. Not funny. He's a person. He's there. Like
That is so
he must
interesting.
have a role, like
Mhm.
like because he was the one who went to like pass the information, like oopsie daisy, we brought this girl and she found out that I'm a dog, Yuki's a rat, and the other one's a cat. Yeah, so like he was the one, like kind of like him being the older from the both of them. Like, oh, let me go and I'm gonna talk to the other.
Akito.
Why wasn't any of the other ones? Like, why wasn't Kyo the one who went and said, like, well, I turn or something? What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Maybe it's because he's the older one. It could be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, something that I was just wondering, and I want to ask you was, like you said, Akito said, yeah, she can. It's okay if she knows. It's okay. I want Kyo to live there now. Why? Why is she the one that can know? Has Akito met Toru?
I don't
Like,
even know.
how do they know that that's like the best person to know the secret that they won't
Mm-hmm.
spill? Like, why her? That's my question.
Yeah, that's my question too. But we don't know much about Akito. We didn't even. Did we see how he looked? No, because in the memory, something he appears like in the back of one of those things. Didn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, like a window or like sheet door
Yeah, you know
thing.
how like the house they have those sliding little thingies.
Yeah.
They look like that. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think we do see them. We do see Akito and they are sitting like we see like their back. Like they were talking to
Like what
Shigure.
I mean is like we haven't seen them
Their
like
face.
how we seen like Shigure and all of them.
Yeah. We don't really know that much about Akito. We just know what we've heard from other people.
Yeah, and it's
So
like
far.
okay, he's the head of the family, but what is he to them? Is he the grandpa? Is he an uncle? Is he one of their fathers?
Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so then we're almost to the end of this episode. We end with a few scenes. The next scene was the one with Toru and Kyo. So Kyo goes and he's like, I'm gonna talk to Toru. And then she's like walking outside. And then she thinks like he's a perv or something. Or something like that. I don't remember what it. And she hit him with a bag. And he was there. And then they kind of talked. And I think something that Kyo had just talked about with Shigure, I think they talked about like somebody liking him or something like that. It's like, what if you find a girl that likes you despite everything, despite you being cat, despite you, all this stuff. And he's like, there's never gonna be anyone like that. And it's like, you never know, right? And then Toru actually said something really similar. And I think that's what clicked for him. She was just like, you know what? My favorite zodiac or whatever is a cat. I want to be the year cat. I love cats, blah, blah. I want to be your friend. And then that's when he was like, what's so good about the year? There's nothing good about the year.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Which you know. I mean, I wonder why. Besides, like the fact that maybe he's not on the zodiac, right?
Oh, he's not, huh?
No. I think later on, Yuki also says like you're the outsider. So he's not in the zodiac. He's the outsider.
So later on, it gets explained why he's not on the zodiac. Like they said, like, oh, we just need 12. Sorry, the cat is
Oh,
not.
they said at the beginning of the first episode, like the story was like pretty much because of the old folk tale that the cat got tricked by the rat, and that's why he couldn't make it, because they were only allowing 12 animals, and he did not make it because he thought that it was the next day because of the rat, or a different time. It's a rat, so that's why he's not in the zodiac. But he does make it in this version to at least be an animal spirit, which is interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's get going. Let's go to episode 3. So episode 3 is we start and they're talking about the cultural festival. Yeah. I'm sorry. So they're talking about the cultural festival. Do we have anything like that? A cultural festival, like in schools you've been to? Because that's something like kind of popular in Japan from the animes I've seen, at least. Like they all get prepared. They do like each class does like either a play or like maybe do a store, or like they have to think of something to contribute into this festival.
Well, we have in Mexico. We have they used to have. I don't know when I was there going to school. We used to have like el festival like spring. So everybody like we would do like a desfile, like a parade, and the schools will participate. Every classroom will decorate like their little, depending on the schools, right? Like you will either have like a little float, like, like a car. Someone would let borrow a truck or something. You will decorate it, and then you will dress like as an animal. And things important about the spring. We also have like the festivals that are around like important dates, like like the Independence Day or the Revolucion, or some states have their specific like important days. Like I'm from Morelos, and we have like there's one festival that also like all the schools participate, and every school sends like a group, and they either have like a show, or they do like they have either they have their own like student band, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of what I remember from Mexico a little bit. I remember there was a lot of like parades. Yeah, and a lot of walking to places. That's all I remember from it. But yeah, there's nothing really like that. There's nothing really like that here. Yeah, it's a lot more like of a community base on like schools, like in other countries than the ones here.
Yeah. Then you have Mother's Day. Mother's Day is big too, and each classroom comes up with something. Like you do a dance, a traditional dance, poetry, or something.
So yeah, so we talk about that, and they come up with some ideas of what they're gonna do for the cultural festival, and like Kyo said an idea, and everybody was like, nah. And then Yuki said an idea, and everybody's like, yeah. And he was just not happy with that, but that's how it is. And then this is when we see Kyo in the roof. He is.
Oh yeah, that's episode 3. Yeah, I have made that note that it was episode 3. I should have changed colors.
Let's put a little episode 3 thing. Yeah. And we see him with all the little cats, and that's, they tell us right there, like all the animals, like depending on your spirit, those animals are gonna be attracted to you.
But are they like they go towards you when you're in distress? Because
they don't say that.
Throughout the episode, you never see them like going towards him, any of the animals.
Yeah. Well,
or do they call? Like I know that I think they can call them, right? Like they can summon them. Because in the episode where Yuki goes to get the picture, he calls on the rats to help him dig the picture. Right?
Yeah.
So then with Kyo, when all the cats start showing up, it doesn't seem like he called them like, oh, I want my kitty time. No. because he seemed annoyed about it. So how does that work? And you don't see them like walking around and there's a bunch of dogs following Shigure.
Yeah, no, I think it's like it just depends. Like I think there was just cats around there, and if they're around them, like in certain perimeter, then they're probably gonna go to them. Like it's not like they're looking for them. It's just like if they were around, and then they're like, "Huh, that person is attractive somehow, and I'm gonna go with them," and they just go. Unless they go and look for them.
Another thing that I just noticed with your little pictures, so he has orange hair, and doesn't he turn into an orange cat?
Yes.
That's probably not related. And then Yuki has like grayish hair, and he's a rat.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so we keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And they even like did comment on his hair. They're like, "Your hair is orange. It shouldn't be orange." And then they call him carrots and stuff. But he's like, "No, it's my natural hair. Like that's just the way my hair is." So it's but to them it is weird because everybody else has pretty chill hair except like I think Kyoko had the same color hair, but I don't know if she dyed it or not. They did not say that. But yeah, okay. So let's see. Right there when they're up in the roof, like Kyo says a little bit more like about how he feels about Yuki. He mentions that pretty much jealous, right?
That's where I put the thing that they were compared when they were little.
Yeah. So they were compared. They were saying, I think I don't know who it was. Some person was just like, oh, whoever has like the rat, whoever has that kid that's the rat is like a lucky person because the rat is so like the best at everything. Is the first one.
And do they mention that like with the martial arts or whatever, didn't Kyo did the martial arts first and then Yuki did it, but he got better? Like Yuki was after and he mastered. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like he just according to his sign, he's supposed to be just better at everything, especially compared, and because they said this too, compared to the cat. It's just not as good. And like you see like Kyo really like trying to fight him. They had to say that before he got to Shigure's house, he was training martial arts too, and he still was not able to beat Yuki. So it's just something that he just has this advantage, almost like a genetic advantage over Kyo. But yeah, he feels jealous that he's able to like the way that he was able to like lead the room. I think it was about the voting. And after that there was the opening again. So there's something I wanted to mention about here. They called Wo-chan, which is Utani, this girl right here, they called her a gangster girl. And I want to just mention this. So over there in Japan, and I've seen this also with Korean, I believe, Korean culture.
Why does her skirt is longer than the other ones?
Well, I'm gonna talk about that.
Oh.
So over there, there's this girls called like I think they're also called like Yankees, and they are gangsters pretty much. So they're in gangs, and they're usually like a lot of times you see them starting up like in middle school, going to high school, so on. And these are just kids that are like troublemakers, quote unquote. They usually dress with like long skirts, and if they're girls, long skirts, and like they usually wear like face masks. What else? They usually like carry bats around. Sometimes like you see them with like bandages like around their breasts, like maybe like a jacket on top or something. Like that's kind of what they see them as. And so she's dressed like she was like one of those girls too. So that's why they called her that. And I just want to make sure that you knew that, because it's something like somebody that's seen this or seen the gangster cultural aspects, I don't know, like how they dress and stuff, they would know right away that she was a gangster or something similar to that, especially comparing like her, the way that she wears her uniform to like Hana-chan or Toru. Yeah,
because they were like really like, look at Toru, look at that skirt.
Yeah, like like the way that she wears a uniform is the way that they're supposed to wear it. And it's pretty short.
So then Hana Hana-chan.
Hana?
Mm-hmm. She also wears not as long as
Uo-chan?
Mm-hmm. But kind of long.
Yeah, kind of long. And that's just, I think that's just on her personality. She's a little more just modest.
So then their uniforms, like their schools, is more lenient on how you wear the uniform, because like I went to schools that we had uniforms, and like all of the girls, we had to wear our skirts at a certain length and our like long socks like that. They had to also hit us at a certain length, and the shoes that we wore had to be like school shoes. They couldn't be, just fashionable black pretty shoes. So everything we had to wear like the same. It's not like, oh, you can wear your skirt to your knee, you can wear it, I don't know, to almost your underwear, or the other one, like kind of like that they just lenient about the uniforms.
Well, from what I've seen from like the other characters around, everybody else seems to be pretty like on it with the uniform. They seem pretty similar the way they're wearing it. Yeah, I saw something different with them too. I haven't heard them say anything about them yet or anything. And then also when we compare like Yuki and Kyo, like, Yuki's like
The
wearing
shoes
like
is different.
the shoes are different. Also, like Yuki's wearing a tie. Kyo has like an upper collar, which is a little bit. You can say a little bit about like his catness, where he does not want to. They don't like wearing collars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something about them. But I haven't seen them say anything. So maybe they're a little lenient. Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, because I like if back in my schools with uniforms, like they will check you as you went in.
Mm-hmm.
They will check the length of our skirts, our shoes. That we were like, if we were only allowed to wear either like a sweater kind of thing or like a little vest. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so let's get going because
Mm-hmm.
we're right at the beginning. Okay, let's see.
I noticed someone, like a stranger, recognized someone. Oh yeah, I had a question about that. I think, or for some reason I wrote it. You know when she's working, Toru, and there comes like, I think she was like not tourist, but I don't know, like I don't know who she was, and ask her like, oh, are you like says her name, and she reacts so weird and just leaves.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, so yeah, she's at work, and then she's about to get off, and this person's up to her. Yeah, she gets asked about she's her, and then she gets a kiss from this person, and I think that's why she like gets kind of like, I don't know who this is, what is happening, and she just leaves.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't know anything about this person. We just know that they were at the building. They were speaking a different language, and that they saw the flyer about the cultural festival. So that's all we know. So after that, we see Yuki. He is going to. Oh yeah, Yuki went to get Toru, and he like there's something like she sees that there's something like off with him, and then she's asking him about it, like he wants to share it and that he can, and then he like some drunk guys were passing by or whatever and like pushed her, and then he turned into a rat, and then they're walking back home,
and he's a little rat.
Yeah, he's a little rat walking. And he talks a little bit like about his like insecurity, and also like he's jealous as well of Kyo, which is so interesting. They both feel jealous about each other. So maybe, do you think they still hate each other?
No, I don't think they hate each other.
Well, they say that they do. They fight all the time.
Yeah, but you don't know. But
Sure.
Oh no.
Let's see. So
it's like opposites attract.
So you think that they are attracted to each other?
Like not attracted like romantically,
but like as friends.
But it's like because both of them have jealousy. Like Kyo is jealous because the other one is good at everything. and he feels like, oh, he commands people, like, he's able to be a leader and have people follow what he wants to do, and everybody sees him like, oh my god, this great thing. And in the other hand, Yuki is jealous about how the, I mean, yes, Kyo, like at the beginning, is a little awkward or intense, but once he relaxes, he's able to better interact, like to interact more closer with people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he got like
maybe
he got along well with Toto's friends, like super, like right away, like they were playing games.
he's able to interact with normal people. Or like, he's more able without having, because even though Yuki is like, everybody wants to be close to him, he still keeps like that barrier. Like, like, yes, I'm this, but over here, like, I don't let you close to me.
Yeah, and then later on, like during that walk, he mentions, he's like, I am nice to people for my own good, like just, because I'm selfish. Not nice to people just to like be nice to them. So he does say that he's selfish and that his kindness is not well intended, I guess.
Yeah.
That's something that he said, and then he turns back
naked,
and they seem so comfortable when they turn back. They're just like, this is me. And then like,
well, I mean,
over there, like,
I'm pretty sure it's not the first time. So after a few times that you become an animal and turn into a human naked,
well, yeah, but in front of a girl, they're just like, whatever. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it has happened in front of girls or like females or.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, probably not that much, because remember, this is a secret. But I don't know, maybe in front of other girls in the family, right?
Huh?
Maybe in front of other girls in the family?
Yeah, like their mom, or because I mean, it gets triggered just by a female bumping into them, like touching them or whatever. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the next 2 episodes. Anyway.
Wait, does it work the same with family members? Like if his mom like bumps into him, he turns into a rat. Do they even have? I mean, I'm sure they have a mom. But
where are their moms? Where are they?
Have no idea. There's no mom. There's no dad. I don't know about the siblings.
Yeah. We haven't seen any siblings. We only seen they're all cousins.
Apparently. Yep. That's what they say, that they're all cousins.
Yeah. I mean, they all have the same last name. They're from the Soma family, which, is pretty well known, I guess, or whatever. So later on, they go home and it starts to rain really bad. And then they go to a secret base, which is a garden. And they go protected. And I think like right there, Toto kind of tells them like about how kindness is different for everybody. She makes a little something like that. I'm like, it's almost 3 a.m. Like my brain is dead. Anyway.
Oh yeah, the thing that they have it in the back, so then you can.
No, that's with Kyo. No, with him it was like everybody has a light, and every light is different, and that's like their kindness. And he's like, yours is like a candle, and something. I don't know. All right. So after the next morning.
Oh, it's a plum.
After that's the next morning.
Yes, that's a plum analogy.
Yeah, analogy. That's the one. Yeah.
They have it in the bag. So that way you cannot, like, you yourself cannot see it. You cannot see your plum or whatever, but you can see the others.
And that's what she says to Kyo, which that's what happened. Like the next morning, like she's making rice balls, like super early apparently. And then like Kyo tries one, is a leek rice ball, and this is something I actually found out. Leek is actually like not like, I think it's not good for cats. Cats can't eat it. Which leek is also like green onions, I think, or something similar to that. So yeah.
Like chives?
Yeah, chives. Yeah. So yeah, he can't. That's why he doesn't like it. And then he's making his own, and right there he tells us that he used to cook for himself, especially when he was out training. So we learn he can cook, unlike the other two. And then they talk about that analogy of like, everybody has something special, and they can't really see it because it's in their back and blah blah blah. And he also says that he can see her plum too, which was really cute. I was like, oh my goodness.
She's able to bring that vulnerability from both of them. I couldn't say that word. Vulnerability. Vulnerable. You know, vulnerable.
Yeah, you heard it. Vulnerable.
Okay.
It's too late. It's too late for me.
But you know, like she makes like they feel comfortable enough to like let their guard a little bit down.
Yeah.
And that's not easy. Like not everybody has that ability, like, you know, to make other people feel comfortable enough where they show you pieces of their, you know, what makes them vulnerable, since we cannot say the word.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's something that maybe that's her special ability right there. They can turn into animals and she can make people vulnerable. Vulnerable? Oh my gosh. I can't.
They should have made a disclaimer that, well, that English is my second language.
It's my second language too, but I would try.
For both of us, we learned it at a different stage, like different ages. So I have a heavier accent, I feel, sometimes, and sometimes I cannot pronounce words, just like right now.
Yeah.
There should have been a disclaimer.
It's fine. People, I'm pretty sure after, you know, going Spanglish here and there, they're probably like,
there's something there.
Something there. Okay, so we're pretty much getting to the end.
I don't have anything else, just like one last sentence. So keep on going.
So they knock, and there's someone at the door. Okay, so excited. And it's this girl
that is asking for
who?
Kyo.
Yeah, who is this girl?
Can it be that sister? Is it a love interest that is following him? Is it a sister? Is it another cousin?
I wonder.
And I don't know, like I put lady, girl, so I don't know. I think the age frame was not clear to me.
I don't know.
Is she younger than him, but I don't know. Older than him?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Is she like another family member? Because how did she know that he was there?
Maybe she's a stalker.
What?
You never know. They come out of nowhere. Yeah. So we're gonna learn a little bit about her. Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe she's just gonna show
and how important is gonna be her role? Like, is she there just like, oh, pasó, vino? And, you know, she just came, knock, and da da da. Is she gonna disturb the little?
What
the
home?
The home, yeah. I don't know.
Or like their relationships.
Yeah,
maybe she'll bring something in, some mixing up. Maybe not. Maybe she's just.
She's the owner of the hat.
Maybe she's the owner of the hat. Maybe we'll get some answers about that. Okay, so in the next 2 episodes, oh my gosh, just remember what the other one is. Okay, we're gonna learn a little bit more about these characters, and maybe we're gonna expand this little sheet that I have here, like this little Word doc. Put more characters in here. For the next one, we're gonna be talking about the next 2 episodes, which is episode 4 and 5, and we'll see what we learn, and if we make any more predictions,
or if some of my questions get answered.
Okay, actually, one last question before we go, before we finish this. My last question about this is just, what do you think the show is? Like, what is the genre? What is this show about?
I have no idea.
Okay, awesome.
Do I have like multiple choice? If you give me a multiple choice?
No multiple choice. Oh. If you don't have an idea right now, that's okay. That's where I want you to be.
I don't think I have an idea.
All right, then. We are finished with this one.